you basically did a call for violence. You're too restrained. People are like, wow, Steven is off the hook. I look at it the other way. We have these unbelievable guidelines for this community, for the Reddit, for the Discord, for everything else. It's lawyered in this community compared to other communities where you set out rules like, hey, we're not brigading. We're not doing this shit.
It's far more strictly moderated than like any other community of my side. Yeah, it's not even close.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
But people look at DGG and they're like, oh my God, this is like an enormous, hateful community that can do a tremendous amount of damage. The truth is,
she was paying people to go to a location that I'm at to assault me.
Wait. Do you have the bank transactions where she was paying people?
She offered it.
This alone had GME pretty much spark a meme rally. I think this is legal manipulation.
What else has been going on the past week? I was fighting with the whole world on Twitch shit. Nothing politically's happened, right?
Yes, the Ludwig stuff is a whole other thing. Yeah, that's a whole big thing. That stuff right there.
Got another merch drop coming in 3 days.
Wow.
I know that's a big deal.
What's it going to be?
Some shirts. They say the Cappuccino Ripperino. It's cute. I should have worn some of it, actually.
Did you ever see some of my older merch that I did? It just said Slumlord across it. You know,
I didn't see that.
Yeah,
That's awesome.
But it was actually, I did a really bad job. And it said sample text on it, and I left that in. Those are vintage, anyway.
If you wanted to make them true vintage, you should have restricted sales to people that could prove that they actually owned property.
I wanted to do it, call it Landlord, but that's actually already a clothing company.
Called Dan the Landlord?
No, just called Landlord.
Oh.
So I had to take down a step and go and be Slumlord. But anyways, so the merch.
Wait, there's no way that you can copyright or trademark plain nouns like that, like Landlord, right?
I mean, they did it. Well, I don't know if they trademarked it, but there's a brand called Landlord.
No, we just make another one.
Well, I did. I called it Slumlord.
No, you should just make one called Landlord and take them over.
Just can you do that?
I'm sure there's podcasts called anything else or Bridges.
I understand that, but what about Gap? That's that's just like a word, bro.
Yeah,
that's
and you can probably make another company called Gap.
I don't think you can just make another clothing company called Gap. I think that would
you must be able to. You can't just make nouns and say that's mine now.
You can. That's what they did.
No shot.
You own it for the entire industry, I think. But there's some. I don't know how it works, but it's some wild shit. Because obviously there's Acme Tire Company. Maybe that's a bad example or something. But obviously there's probably 1,000 Acme Tire companies across the country. It's not like some conglomerate. So I guess eventually you can do that, even if you're in a similar industry.
I bet it has to do with, and I'm basing all of my knowledge on this from one episode of
House?
Nathan Felder's show.
Nathan for you?
Yes. Where, because they did the dumb Starbucks thing, I bet as long as you differentiate enough or you don't appear as a company, I bet you'd be okay. I bet I can make a store called Target, but as long as it's a totally separate appearance thing, it'd be fine. But if it looked like Target...
I think if it was a real store actually trying to sell shit, you would get in trouble.
Well, only one way to find out. Somebody emailed me with a great suggestion.
Yeah.
And they said we should have an unethical life advice section.
Oh, I could totally do that.
So I'm trying to get my parents a present, but I don't have any money. What should I do? Stuff like that.
Do you know, I just want to bring this up because I did the whole, you just ran someone over. There's an interesting defense, and apparently it's a lot more common in Britbonger land than it is here. It's called the hip flask defense. Okay, how this works, you're wasted. You're driving and you smash into a wall or a person, or it doesn't matter, but you got into an accident and you're wasted and you're wasted. The defense to that is that you get out of your car and you start drinking right away in plain view of everyone. And essentially what happens is that when the police show up, they can't prove that you... Why do you do this, Lycan? Are you shitting me?
Just triggers the fuck.
It's the most noisy thing you can do too. It's not like, hey, here's something slightly... No, dude.
I'm just moving it around a little.
I'm moving it around. You know what? This is a waste now, Lycan. All this shit right here? It's on the floor.
What?
For the dog. Because that's who's going to eat those crackers. Okay? Unbelievable. That fucking... What? The hip flask defense, as I was saying, okay? See, this isn't... What we're talking about right now, this isn't going to make it to the audio. And that's the big problem I really have.
What's not going to make it to the audio?
The fact of what our producer just did.
What's not going to make it to the audio?
That's not... They're going to be like, what happened?
They're probably going to have a guess of what just happened.
What do you think they're going to guess just happened?
How about you narrate like a good podcast?
Do I have
What's
to narrate?
What's going on? The dog is going to eat this now. What do you think do they think Lycan brought me a squeaky toy to chew into while we do our podcast, and now the dog's going to have fun with it and it's making too much noise on the shows? Or what do you think? Are our viewers that fucking stupid?
Okay. Anyways, apparently...
Why doesn't this defense work in the U.S.?
I think it might. I think it's just not popular here.
Because if you drunk drive and kill somebody, the most you can get is I think voluntary manslaughter or something, right?
Yes.
This is a great fucking strategy. If I go kill somebody, I should just get wasted afterwards. And I don't know if you could get second degree murder. There's no murder charges there, right?
So it doesn't work quite like that. We're talking about you're already drunk, okay? And then you do an accident. The idea is making it so they can't prove that you were drunk when you did it, right? And it basically, like if I crash into a wall in my car and I'm wasted, and then I get out of the car and everyone sees me and I pull a bottle of vodka out and I start drinking it, okay, and you don't know how much I've drank or not, at that point, it's not going to be possible for them to be like, well, based on his blood alcohol and this amount of time, he should be this, because you don't know how much of this vodka I've drank. Unless it's a brand new bottle, then maybe they can do the trigonometry or something to figure it out. But
well, I feel like then you should do the same in the U.S. Let's say you're in a cop car. You should always carry.
I think you should.
You should have stealth flasks on you.
Yes.
You get arrested, or they pull you over and they ask you to do a breathalyzer, and you say no. You're gonna lose your license, but at least you won't get a DUI because when you go in the car, you start drinking your thing.
Can we give? Oh my God! Can we give not legal advice, actual legal advice right now?
Okay.
I'm not an attorney, but this is real legal advice.
We're about to fight over this.
First off, I think that if you drive drunk, you're an asshole, and you should probably
just an asshole.
More than that.
Okay.
Something bad should happen to you. Something significantly bad that I probably don't want to say on a live stream. But anyways, with that said, what's going on?
Keep going.
I can't. You're distracting me.
I know I am. The light. Go ahead.
What are we going to do with that?
Go ahead.
Okay.
And then I'm done moving around after I put this over there.
Okay.
If you drive drunk, you're an asshole.
Yeah. Okay, don't drive drunk.
Yeah,
First off, it's like completely irresponsible. It's
L
like,
drunk driving.
Yeah.
L drunk driving in chat.
Exactly. Just want to put that out there. But now, sometimes, if you have a glass of wine, you might still drive, okay? But maybe it affected you differently. Here's the main thing. If you get pulled over, you have to make the decision in your mind. Am I going to be over the legal limit or not? That's like the real question you're answering. Because there's essentially, in most states, there's two rules that come down to it.
Okay.
Are you going to take the field sobriety test or not? I love how this happens on anything else. Not on bridges. On bridges, it's produced beautifully and everything goes smoothly. On this show, it's like lights are happening, crackers are being brought out.
Whoa! What did you just say?
Crackers.
Whoa! We say crackers.
No,
here.
I say.
Okay.
I can say.
You can't. You're not even white. You're Jewish.
Well, it depends on.
It doesn't.
It does.
Not anymore. No, nobody sees you as white anymore.
Really?
The lefties and the righties. Now you're f***ed.
No, I think I'm still white.
No.
No?
You just support white supremacy, which is even more sad.
Well, I'm I'm a supporter.
That doesn't mean you can use our words.
Oh. Okay, fine. So
anyway,
you brought out crackers. Anyways, so the deal is this. This is the real deal. This is for everyone out there who may find themselves in this situation and they're not, they're just like some aggressive cop or something. So if you're actually drunk, if you think that you are actually going to blow over the legal limit,
okay,
you should refuse. If you can deal without having a license for a year, because it's a difference between a civil and a criminal thing in that case, right? Yeah. Basically, if you refuse, there's less evidence against you, more likely that an attorney can go and...
I think technically it's all criminal, but the losing your license is not like a criminal infraction.
So if you... Basically what happens is if you refuse, they can't use it against you that you refused, but in most states, they have a mandatory thing saying if you refuse... by nature of having your license, we will suspend your license for a year.
Yeah.
Like automatically. But that doesn't mean that you now have a DUI on your record.
Correct.
It just means that you have a suspended license for a year at that point. So you as a person have to determine what's more important to you, holding onto your license for the next year and then having to fight this in court, or potentially giving the state evidence that
you
can
do
be
have
used.
to consider though that like if you're super drunk, when you go to the station, you're going to get your blood pulled anyway, and you're still going to get. So now you've lost your license guaranteed, and now you have case to fight.
I think that is something absolutely that you should consider in that front. But the easiest way is just not to drive drunk and to take an Uber.
True. Because I think you can. Well, maybe I'm biased here, but like I hear this on the news, and I knew this personally from like friends at the casino and shit. I feel like it feels like people can get a lot of DUIs for some reason.
That is crazy. I think that if I was president or God Emperor or something along those lines. Actually, let's talk about some real changes we would make. Give it a second. I want you to think. I'm gonna think for a second. What changes would I make if I was
I was secretly pulling the strings, I think I would let in massive amounts of non-white immigrants to outbreed the native population.
Okay, I'm thinking about like banning pit bulls.
Oh,
Sorry, you're
Okay,
like
my
you're
bad.
going in a whole other direction.
those are things you people are already doing. Okay.
Yeah, my people, right? Okay. Pit bulls, ban them or not ban them?
I like dogs.
I didn't ask you if you like.
I
dogs.
like pit bulls.
Why?
I don't know. My kid's mom is too. I think they're really cute. I love them. I think they're nice. Unless they eat my kid, then I'll hate them. I'll be the number one pit bull hater.
What else would I do? Man, I'm trying to think of interesting shit. DUI, I think, is something I would have the penalty be much more. You know what? Actually, I might do. I might actually mandate the thing where you have to blow into the car to start it.
Mandated on every.
You know how you
car?
do it? You mandate it by giving the tax break to the car companies.
Well, but that would be so cringe. Here's
don't
my
care.
American car. You can tell it's American because it's got a mandatory breathalyzer
That's
in it.
right. But you save $1,000. And it can't be removed. It's like built into the car's ECU.
Cringe.
There's no... I'm just saying what I would do.
You could do that, yeah.
I would do that. But you do it in a way like you have a choice. Like you don't have to, but then you pay $1,000 more.
Okay.
Or $5,000 more. Who knows? Could be wild. What else? What else do we all hate?
What about mandating
littering?
that new guns have biometrics in the?
Oh, thank you, Lycan. You know what else I would do? I would
Outlaw guns and charge $1,000 per bullet. Roll clip number 72 of Dan talking about how bullets were so expensive.
And I would ban homemade ammunition, whatever you call it, when they make...
Oh, reloading?
Yeah, no
I don't
reloading.
think you can... I don't think you can... Well, we're talking hypothetically, but yeah.
Yeah, emperors can do whatever they want. That's
True.
it. And if you don't follow, you're...
The ghost gun shit is kind of interesting. Where you either already can or we're really close to people just being able to print like all their gun shit.
Yeah. It's
think you just
really,
have to buy,
it's
like, the
super
barrel or
challenging.
something.
The ghost gun shit is actually so interesting if you think about it. Because at the end of the day, a pipe, two pieces of pipe that fit together is a shotgun, right? If you put a nail at the end of one of it with a cap, that's it. You understand what I'm saying? Like,
I don't know how the ATF defines it, but okay.
No, but that's like a gun, right? Like it's
Okay.
a simple. That's the mechanics of it. Like
Pipe,
you don't have
single
to,
pipe, gunpowder, and a primer.
No,
That's
just a shotgun shell.
What?
No, just a shotgun shell.
Is a shotgun shell is a gun?
Okay, now, listen to me. I want you to imagine a pipe.
Okay.
All right, is that in your head?
Okay, yeah.
He's looking for the pipe banging
I know he is.
sound.
Okay,
Maybe
here
he's too
I
slow.
got the pipe.
Okay, shotgun shell dropped in, but doesn't go in. It hangs on the edge of the pipe. So it's just at the very top. Got it? Another piece of pipe that fits over the other pipe and the thing, and at the very end, there's a cap on it with a little, basically a firing pin. And to fire it, you go like this. You push
Okay.
it.
I feel like you're over-engineering it, but yeah, sure, that's basically
That's
it.
not
yeah.
really over-engineering it.
I don't think you need a whole...
I think it's
when
called
you
a
say
slam
shotgun shell, you're implying a huge amount of manufacturing that's already happened. I'm saying you could probably just take you put like a little bit of gunpowder and then you pack like a little bit of whatever, water tape, and then you put like a little ball there, and then you just look at the pipe and you just set fire to the fuse in the back and it
What are you
shoots.
talking like black powder stuff is actually regulated differently. Did you know that? It's
Sure, I'm just saying that would be a simple firearm to make. You wouldn't
think-
need to buy a pre-assembled shotgun shell.
Yeah. It's God. We're going all over the place. But you know, it's actually pretty interesting. I think it was in New York, in Manhattan. For a long time, you weren't allowed to have a gun at all in your apartment, your home, nothing. Like it was f***ing crazy. Like downtown, like you couldn't. I don't think you could have a handgun in your apartment. I'm pretty sure.
I don't know if it was that extreme, but
I think it was that
really extreme.
It was insane.
Yeah.
And people were like, I think people, the way they were getting around it is they were having like black powder like handguns that they're technically not regulated as a handgun, essentially.
It's like a single shot.
Well, it's like, fucking a pirate thing. They say like,
Like a flint power, like a...
Yeah, exactly.
What is the thing?
Like in Captain
Rust?
Hook.
Or
Oh yeah, like an Ioka.
Yeah, there you go.
Basically, they're regulated differently. That's exactly what I'm talking about.
Wait, did you steal your idea from this guy? You watched this video because he even did the thing you were talking about where he puts his hand in here.
That's really funny.
Wait,
You're not watching this video. I mean, you guys, chat, you're not watching
they
this video
can see
right
it on
now.
the wide. You stole this from him.
No,
Were you
that's
going
like
to give
the
him
most common
credit?
thing in the entire history.
Were you planning on giving him credit for this?
This guy?
Yeah.
He didn't come up with it.
Oh, okay, interesting. Because he says he did in the description.
No, he definitely did not come up with it. This is like the oldest definition of like...
The guy looked pretty old.
Anyways, the question is, what can you do to regulate ghost guns? Fucking nothing, I think.
True.
What part right now Do you know what part is regulated of the handgun currently?
It might be it's whatever part the serial number is printed on.
The barrel.
The barrel? Okay.
I think. Actually, you know what? That's not correct. It's the trigger group. The trigger group.
Are you sure?
Yes.
The barrel has to be bought because you can't
the trigger
3D
group
print.
I'm sorry,
I understand what you're
yeah,
saying. The barrel can't be 3D printed because the material would melt. So I think you have to machine or buy an actual barrel. You can't 3D print that part. And then whatever part the serial, I know there's a part of the gun that the serial number has to be printed on. I thought that part was important. You can't get rid of, like, I know you're not allowed to file off a
Well, they call it, on an AR, it's like the lower receiver, right? But like for a handgun, okay, like on my handgun, there's a lot of pieces. You have the slide, you have the barrel, you have the trigger group or firing assembly, you have the frame, okay, that everything goes into. And I'm pretty sure,
for the purpose of U.S. law, the receiver or frame is legally the firearm, and as such, it is the controlled part. What does the frame mean?
I don't know. I thought it would be the trigger group, but I guess not. The frame is the plastic part that holds the trigger assembly.
The ATF does wacky shit. The lower assembly would make sense on like an AR-15 because that's the part that has like the trigger and all the...
Well, no, that stuff isn't even... They're just talking about literally the plastic. Like the trigger, the mechanics, all that shit in there, it doesn't matter. It's like literally...
Yeah, but it's like the housing for it all, right?
The housing,
Like
yeah.
you wouldn't be able to have a gun without a lower receiver.
Yeah, so basically floating. Right now people can go and they can get like 100% of the parts for a Glock except for...
The lower...
The fucking plastic part, which you can just print. And there was a company, oh, fuck, I'm not going to be able to come up with the name of it. So there's a bunch of Gucci Glock companies now. I have one of them.
Okay.
But mine is a Shadow Systems, but it's like Prototype or something like that. And Polymer 80, that's what it is.
Okay.
And it's like literally just like they sell you like a Glock, but with nothing in it or something. So it's interesting.
Somebody said you can 3D print with metal.
I think you can now. I think they're getting advanced enough that there's machines you can buy.
Don't you need like a whole ass thing for that though?
Well, it's like a CNC.
Yeah, you can CNC with metal, but that's not what people call 3D printing, right? Isn't 3D printing usually like the polymers or the cheap shit that you can buy and put in your house? It's not. Generally speaking, if somebody says I have a 3D printer at home, and then you go into their basement and they got a whole ass fucking CNC, a $20,000 fucking machine to do CNC, like, look, I can 3D print. It's like, okay, well, sure, but.
I don't think that you can 3D print metal like plastic, meaning like you extrude the metal and like you're dropping.
And you like spin it like a fucking spider.
I don't think it happens. I think that you have to still, they have like 6 degrees of motion or something like that. I'm trying to remember back from my days of Sneako, the flight sim guy, saying that he had 6 degrees of motion on that shit. But yeah, like they have a way to...
Did he ever come back? Is he still...
No. And if you look him up... Oh, God. You know what? For a lot of new chatters...
You know that he was in the tower the day the planes... Did he say he was at the plane the day
He did say he was in the tower, which was fucking wild. And you know what else? Is I called this guy on day one, and he was like, Dan, dude, why are you so mad at me, dude? Dude, I'm telling you. Like, I can teach you something. This guy was so full of shit with his $2.5 million flight sim. The funny part is if you Google him today, okay, he got sued by, I think it was Morgan Stanley or something. And in the article, he's like, oh yeah, that flight sim, that's like, that's only worth like $200K.
Yeah, he said that, yeah.
Which is exactly what I fucking said. And he said, no. Yeah, what a
Only? That's still a hugely expensive flight simulator.
Then why lie about it?
look cool, I guess. Always add.
Also,
zero.
$200K and $2 million that's a whole order of magnitude of money.
Yeah.
Like, I would consider buying a car for $200K. I'm not buying a $2 million car.
Remember with Zerka, the funniest moment, he was coming in here. Zerka was like, so how much are you worth? And he's like, well, I don't want to say, but...
It starts with a
B. And I was like, B? Really? Sorry, we're going down nostalgia lane. For a lot of people just don't know what's going on. It's wild shit happened to you in the last 7 days. What is the most wild part of it? Is it the most boring streamers of all time, the most PG-13, not even PG, rated G for everyone coming at you? Is that wild shit? Or is there something broader that has really got you upset?
Right here, Lycan.
Yep. You're on, baby.
Hey, did you enjoy this? Did you know... Stop! Move out of the way! Did you know that there's probably another hour and a half of this content that you're not getting on this YouTube thing? Yeah, that's because August, our YouTube editor, hates you, and he doesn't want you to see the whole thing. This VOD is paywalled, and the only way you can get it is by subscribing to our Patreon at patreon.com/anything else, Or you can go to anythingelse.gg. And from there, I mean, I guess you can click the link to go to Patreon. Anyways, that's it.
I felt like the death threats are kind of crazy.
Okay. How often are they coming in and how many at this point?
I usually get a couple a day at least.
A couple a day.
But I think like from large streamers with something to lose, that's kind of crazy.
You know, I think the problem when the streamers do it directly is that obviously it's amplified. But the difference is that you might, like, everyone's seen the clip. We could say roll the clip of the, what was that dude that bleeped himself?
Oh,
Sean Black System needs to kill Destiny.
This is what happens when you don't kill every single slave owner after slavery. You get Destiny. We would have socialism at this point if someone just went out of their way and.
Unfortunately for him, there are people that can read his lips.
We would have socialism at this point if someone just went out of their way and. It would be so easy.
Is this guy banned? Did they ban him?
Nope.
Let me see if they did.
Hello.
Clip's no longer available.
Hello.
No? That's
Hi.
crazy. If they don't ban this guy.
Everybody wave at Asmongold. Hello. Hello. We're still here.
And you shouldn't be. You should have 100% got banned. Like, the fact that this guy isn't banned is a disgrace. This is the one positive thing that I can keep in mind with a person like this, is that he will fuck up again, and eventually he will push it over the line, even for Twitch. I can guarantee that, like, this is not the last time that this person is going to say something stupid.
Boys, let's check what's going on Twitch.
This is a cracker take.
About whether that's worthwhile?
Oh, no, that's not my jam.
30K to anyone who'll make this dipshit disappear?
Oh, hell no.
That's what you get. When you don't murder every single slave owner, you get Destiny.
How about a little gardening? Yes.
it's like and a black guy or something.
I don't know who it was, but he bleeped himself when he did it. And it's like, the problem is you have to not just think about, what am I saying? Hey, I didn't say anything. It's not that. It's what is your audience
taking from it?
Exactly. How impressionable are they going to be from this and be like, yeah, you know what? You're right. I should do that.
Yeah.
And you're responsible, I think. Like, in my mind, if some crazy shit like that happened and then someone did come at you and did something, like, I would think that most courts would be like, okay, this guy was a viewer of yours. You basically did a call for violence against this guy. I would think that that would be something that would at least be brought. I don't know where it would go, but I think that's a pretty clear-cut case of like someone saying, hey, this guy should be taken out.
I don't know. In the United States, we tend to side really aggressively with freedom of speech rights. So
sure,
it's hard to know. But
when you're saying
morally,
that
I think that morally, I definitely agree. But legally, it's like that's a really big freedom of speech area. We're really huge on that in the U.S.
No doubt. Okay, I'm just saying that I think it's too much.
Yeah, I agree. But legally, is it too much? I'm not sure. We have to draw the distinction.
Here's the other thing. I think you're too restrained. Okay.
Okay.
The people probably don't expect that to happen. Like, people are like, wow, Steven is off the hook. Mm-hmm. I look at it the other way. Okay. We have these unbelievable guidelines for this community, for the Reddit, for the Discord, for everything else that is so like it's lawyered. Every part of it. Do you know what I mean when I say like it's like we have like actual lawyers like going over like the Discord rules and things like that, being like, well, technically I didn't say this, and then the moderators are like, God damn it, you got us. You didn't actually say that, so you get unbanned. Like, that's the level of honesty that I think that you got in this community compared to other communities where you set out rules like, hey, well, listen, we're not brigading,
Mm-hmm.
we're not doing this
it's
shit.
Far more strictly moderated than like any other community of my side. Yeah, it's not even close.
It's not even close.
Yeah.
But people look at DGG and the Dalaban, if you will, and they're like, oh my God, this is like an enormous, hateful community that can do a tremendous amount of damage. And the truth is that they don't see. I think that if people were to see how many posts are automatically banned and removed from the rules that are in place for people that are trying to do bullshit like that, they would be shocked.
That's why I'm so tempted to have like a week long, like the purge, except for my internet community, where it's like one day or for 1 week, the government is suspending all rules.
I completely agree with you.
We're going to host DGG/X. We're going to go to the X board, and we're going.
That was something I wanted to do. We wanted to stream this one on Twitter if we could. I guess we're not set up for it.
Oh, I was thinking X like there used to be a long time ago. There was a meme that on 4chan there was a secret board, the X board, the invasion board. That's what I was thinking. But yeah. But anyway, it's stupid that people think. But I think the reason why is because in some ways it's a position of extreme privilege. Like, these people haven't actually had real threats before.
Sure.
So if they get like that one girl is a really good example. I think Katie. I wish somebody had the exact tweets. Katie would complain about the harassment she'd get from my community, but she posted 2 of the tweets, and it was like, I think everything you say on Destiny stream is stupid. And I'm like, what?
Yeah, that's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah.
So my thinking is this. I know it's against your thing, and you have your moral framework and everything else like that. I personally think that you should suspend it all. I'm here only out of spite, essentially, at this.
Okay.
I've already gone over this whole situation. Like I'm existing on a spite-driven basis right now of scorched earth and everything else, and I think that it's ridiculous that people can get their fucking snipes in and then get all
Bully.
Get all like I'm sorry. Are you expecting me to just sit here and take your shit when you call me a cuck? And
when you're posting pictures of a black girl crying, and then it's like, I can't believe you would post cutie Cinderella crying publicly on the internet. And it's like, okay, dude. It's really
I think
cringe.
like at the end of the day, like people need to understand that they're on the internet. There's no fucking rules. And
except there are.
There are.
I'm permabanned from Twitch for breaking them, apparently. So.
It's the Twitch permaban shit is fucking wild to me. It's like,
especially because if what I'm told is true by two different people, and maybe it's not true, apparently it's noted in my account that the comment was likely like sarcastic, but it was so over the line that they had to take action anyway.
Yeah.
Which was saying that I think that these the trans activists on Twitter are subhuman. That was what was so over the line that I needed a permanent ban. No, it wasn't no call for violence, no even implying, no telling somebody to kill themselves. It was saying that the trans Twitter activist audience was subhuman. That's wild.
I feel like I've made this prediction before.
Yeah.
And Amazon is a huge company, but you know what scares me is that they're not afraid of cost cutting. They got rid of Korea. Okay, they're like, okay, we're abandoning Korea because it's too expensive here. I think all of Twitch is losing money. There's no way that thing is profitable. I don't think Amazon breaks it out directly in their earnings, so we can't really know. Mm-hmm. I don't think Twitch is long for the world. I think they're going to give it up.
It depends on how much usage they get out of the IVS structure, I guess, right? Or they could theoretically, they would make people mad, but they could buy Twitch, maintain the IVS framework that they've integrated into AWS, and then just kill Twitch.
Yeah.
You know why I want to get unbanned?
I know.
I just want the protection of being a streamer there.
No,
because if I was a streamer there, I don't think they could say what they're saying about me because they would get banned for harassing a fellow streamer.
No, it's true. It's funny. I remember one of the early things. I mean, this is obviously, foresight or hindsight is 2020, but I was like, Steven,
my foresight is 2020, but go ahead.
Stop streaming on Twitch today. Just don't do it. And you're like, why? And I was like, because then you can always like still exist. You can go on people's stream. And of course,
you've been telling me that for like 5 years though. So I'm glad I never listened to you because I would have been retarded.
Yeah, but it's how many years have you been banned now?
Like not even 2.
Okay. Well, that's like a 60% success rate.
Okay. In like 30 years, you'll be able to say like, man, wow,
I was right. Yeah. If Twitch is still around at that point. I think it's I think these people are unhinged and they're all in their little G-rated safe spaces and they poke at you and they expect the same G-rated response that they would get from someone other creator, and then they're like, oh, I didn't get that. That's hurtful.
It's the ultimate like cry bully shit. Yeah.
It is cry bully shit.
Yeah.
And I think you should go harder when you do it. I think you should not pull punches. I think that you should stop restraining your community on it and just be like, fuck it, essentially. Why?
Yeah, but then I lose a big portion of my audience because there are people that watch me because I don't do stuff like that. So I feel the temptation though.
A big portion.
A decent amount, probably. Yeah.
Okay.
I probably get more pushback for any crazy shit that I do than any other big streamer.
I feel like anyone who's going to be pushing back against you, they're going to be doing it. Be like, how can you say this thing with a deep fake shit? It's like, because here's the thing that is wild to me. Mm-hmm. If I hate someone, like I can legitimately be like, so it's like, you can't say this anymore. Be like, I actually wish you would die. I don't like you. Mm-hmm. I don't want you to have like an unpleasant day. I want you to actually have I want you to die.
Sure.
Like that's how much I dislike you. And it's like, you can't say that, or you can kind of say that, but you can't say like, oh, I hope like, XYZ, whatever. What you say is like going too far.
Personally, I think even that, I think I'd be okay. The only thing that's weird is when people start like making like the pros list of why a person should be killed. Somebody's like, you. Like, I hope you get in a car accident and die. I hope you fucking whatever. I can kind of get it. But when people are still like, somebody should kill this guy. If this happened, it would be the world would be better. He's called for genocide, so we should be able to kill him. It's like, okay, that's kind of weird. The thing that pisses me off the most, and my audience fought me on this, and I'll probably never change my mind on this. The thing that pissed me off the most is I don't regret contacting that one girl's school. And I got really mad that my fan base thought I was overreacting when that one girl posted pictures of me on Instagram and said, Destiny's going to be here at 4 o'clock. Somebody should go throw an egg at him. And everybody in chat was like, oh, it's just an egg. And it's like, why the would I ever want people posting where I'm going to be at with a time, calling people to go there and harass me?
No, absolutely.
Like,
no,
I think was wild.
No, you're completely in the right on that front. And people losing their... Well, I mean, you say duh, but like more than half the people thought you were being unhinged.
They offered money for that. They were like, I'll pay somebody to do this. That was wild.
It is wild. And there's consequences of this shit. It's just the end of the day. Like, I think people don't understand it. But if you tweet at Joe Rogan and say your show sucks, it's very unlikely that he's going to reply to you or retweet you or quote tweet you or say anything. That's like 1 in a million chance.
Yeah.
But you have to understand that if you do it, there's a chance he is going to do it. And he's going to say,
ready for the smoke.
Yeah. Like, at the end of the day, that is what it is.
Wait, hold on. People don't remember this. So when I was doing the Change My Mind events at college campuses, I don't remember the school I was at, but I did it on one of them.
Can you toss me one of the yellow cans?
One lefty, I think they had a picture of it was either me outside or they might have had a picture. It was a picture of me setting up, or it was a picture of my subreddit post. And they basically said something like, I'll give $20 if somebody goes to Destiny's event. He's going to be here at this time at this campus in this area, and throws an egg at him or something. And then when I saw that, UMD, I found out her school information, and I contacted the school, whatever the office is. I don't even remember.
And I hope something fucking crazy happened to her.
Yeah, because I think she should have been expelled for that permanently. I think she should have been kicked out of school for that. And everybody was laughing. Even my audience was saying, oh, you're overreacting. It's just an egg. And it's like, it's the fact that you're giving my I'm not trying to be a diva, but like I am a mini celebrity. You're giving my location, a time for people to go find me, and you're encouraging them to start like physical activity, violence. It is. You can call it an egg and laugh at it. But like the only thing that would happen is or the problem is that one, you don't know who's going to show up and if they're actually going to throw egg or rocks. And two, if somebody shows up and starts fighting, you don't know how that escalates.
Yeah, no.
What if somebody shows up, they throw shit, they make fun of people, and then somebody like attacks them and shit escalates? And it's like any time in my mind, and I will greenlight my community on this. If you're providing, it's a Brandenburg test. If you're giving like a call to imminent violence and you're giving like a direct like place or call, you should be spam reported and removed from the internet. Like Mike should be spam reported and removed from the internet. You can't do that. That's wild.
No. And you know what else? It's like what it's stating. Also, like now this is the new normal. Like this is the president. That's
insane.
It's like fucking crazy.
And I think the majority of my community sided against me on that.
You know what else is so right now? I want to be like, so what's her name? What's this person's name? But like you are like so nice to this fucking person that did this. It's like I don't think there's any mention of her on the subreddit. There's nothing. And that's the whole thing. If it was me, that wouldn't be the fucking case. That you shouldn't just be able to go on with your life and be like, oh yeah, wow, that was.
I don't remember if we named her on the subreddit or not. I'm not sure.
Did and then it was removed.
Oh, okay. I know. I named.
Wait. I'm sorry. So you guys think that like 20 years from now, this chick's life was completely derailed because she was expelled, and
yes.
you think that's perfectly fine, and that 20 years from now, you're not going to be like, like for an egg, was it really worth it? You're not going to have any kind of different feelings. You're just going to be like, nope.
No, hold on. The idea is you have no idea what could happen to a person. Yep. I could get killed doing some shit like that.
She's a fucking kid.
It doesn't matter.
No.
Oh,
hold on.
Wow.
She's not a kid. She was like college aged, posting locations a day. You're old enough at that point to know.
Wait, so if I go scrub through your VODs with the AI, I'd never find you saying that college kids are stupid fucking kids.
They might be stupid kids. She'd be able to somebody or somebody's throat if you're a college kid?
You just jumped to the most hyperbolic example compared to what's going on here. She said someone to throw an egg at him.
She was paying people to go to a location that I'm at to assault me.
Wait. Do you have the bank transactions where she was paying people?
She offered it.
Do you think that if someone said, okay, yeah, how much will you give? Do you think that was really going to happen?
Who do you know? I don't know. What if somebody showed up anyway?
What I'm saying is you are so certain that you want this person's life to be ruined off of comment like that.
No, the point is not me being certain. The point is the outcome is uncertain, and she's creating the conditions for me to get assassinated.
You were certain that it would have been okay even with your uncertainty. That's the issue.
Yes, it's why you get punished for a DUI even if you don't get into an accident. It's the fact that you're creating the environment, the possibility for somebody to get killed. That's wild.
Okay.
So you're not trolling, you're being serious, Lycan, with all this.
No, yeah, I think that going to the person's employer and their school and shit, like...
First off... Okay. Yeah.
And then turning the internet audience against them. Yeah, I think that was a little heavy.
Oh.
I was with the community on that one.
I don't know. I disagree. I had this exact situation happen to me recently, and it's funny because did you see that they're...
I did see it. Good.
Yeah. They're coming into the Hassan, like tagging into this thing. So I had a actually, how charitable do I want to be right now? This is a real test. I was here talking a lot of shit. Oh, this is a good one.
I'm sorry, real quick. While you think of it, I just want to be really clear. I'm not saying what she did was okay in any way, shape, or form. It's awful. I'm just saying, do we really think that, yes, with absolute sincerity, the potential life-ruining moment that could have come from reporting them to the school was totally deserved?
You need to be aware that if you're giving people's location and address and calling for people to go and assault them, that you're going to get expelled from school. Yes, that should be the expectation. There should never be an expectation that you could even jokingly offer money while posting pictures and telling somebody where somebody's going to be to go and assault that person, and that's just an LOL joke.
Yeah, that's
wild. You should do, if you want to do that, you can, but it should be with the expectation that if you get found out, you're expelled, you're gone completely.
Yeah,
Easy.
I think that's like a no-brainer. Like, it may be like, oh, what? Like, so here's the difference. Right now, like this came to me back with the thing when Richard Lewis was here with the whole legal stuff. You can, without fear, say like, oh, like Bill Gates is a pedophile Satanist, and you know nothing is going to happen because when you look at me, you're like, Dan doesn't know anything more about that than I do, or anything along those lines. But when these smaller creators that have audiences go and they say shit, it doesn't matter if they think it's in humor or in jest. It's about their community and which of those insane people is going to believe it and what they're going to do. You're not just setting the rules for yourself. You're setting the rules for the people that follow your content.
Yeah, this is the same thing why I argue against like Nazi people that are talking about how, or I shouldn't say Nazi people, but far right people who say things like, the voting has failed, the government is being stolen from you, all the intelligence agencies are against you, et cetera, et cetera, et cetera. That when you create these conditions, the only way that you can respond is with violence, right? Well, I'm not going to go to the polls and vote my way out of a fucking authoritarian dictatorship. Or I'm not going to go and trust my government when I know everybody's lying to me. You're creating the circumstances where you literally have to, you have to start killing people or violently, like, reacting to the situation. So when you're giving these things about me, well, Destiny is like pro-genocide, he's calling for people to get murdered, he tries to do this and blah, blah, blah. And then you're talking, it's like, okay, well, what are you supposed to do? Like, if I saw me and the caricature of myself that people talk about was somewhere, I want to kill me too. Holy shit, that's wild. Yeah.
And if that's the narrative that's being set at these people too, it's not that like, hey, he's being reasonable and he's trying to like go and do research and understand both sides of the situation. And hey, he didn't happen to come out on your side. It's not that. It's like Destiny wants to kill Palestinian children.
Sure. And I don't even care. You don't have to say the former. You can say like Destiny has dog shit opinions on this topic. I think he's completely biased and unhinged and blah, blah. That's fine. But when you start saying things like that black guy was saying, we should be able to call for Destiny up to anything he's called for. And he said that we should genocide Palestinians. That's unhinged. Like, even you saying I'm genociding Palestinians, or say I should, fine, whatever. I think that's probably fine. It's stupid, but like, you should have the right to say it. But where like we can do anything up to this person, up to what he's called for, and I haven't even said, that's wild.
Yeah. So speaking of which, we've had a lot of interesting conversations so far. As I mentioned, we are planning on trying to do some call-ins, and not the Care Bear shit, as we talked about before. We don't care if you're in college and thinking about starting a job. We want to know if you just ran someone over or if you think Destiny does deserve to be executed. We're looking for the next Corantos, I guess, a little bit, right? That's how that all started, right?
Goodbye, Rip.
Yeah.
What a great guy.
What a great guy. What else did we have? We had other shit.
GME stuff?
What's that?
The GME stuff?
GME. Yes. I think the dude sold his account.
Oh, Roaring Kitty?
Yeah.
Has he posted pictures or anything of himself?
No, he's only posted memes.
Oh shit, that would be really interesting, but hella illegal.
Why? Well, it's against the terms of service to sell your account on Twitter.
No, I'm not talking about that.
Hella illegal. Why? Why is it
fomenting? If you're creating false urgency around stuff,
he's just posting memes. He has not posted a single word on any tweet.
I don't think this argument works in the real world. I think this is like a
You're saying that
argument,
some people can be so
where you're like,
influential?
well, actually, I didn't actually do anything illegal, but the judge would say you're going to get killed in prison.
Hold on.
Fuck you.
Are you basically saying that this guy can't ever? Okay, hypothetical. We're going broad here. Okay, let's say that Stevie B, that he's known for something, some stock. Okay, this guy happened to be known for stock. He is the face of GME. Okay. Agree or disagree on that?
Yeah.
Okay. Are you basically saying this fucker can't talk again for the rest of his life? Because all he did was not say anything on Twitter for 2 years, 3 years? I don't know. 1 year? I have no idea. However long, he just didn't say anything. And then he just like Is it against the law for him to post a picture of a rocket ship?
My guess is going to be if the intention is to drive up the...
How do you prove that?
Oh, I guess we can't know anything. So never. There are no criminal laws ever.
That is a unfair characterization of my
You just
argument.
said your characterization of my argument is so he can't say anything ever again? That was your characterization of my argument. What he did was he posted a rocket ship as short interest is high in another stock that he's known for blowing up, that he probably has a massive position staked out in. So he's not just tweeting anything. He's doing something with, ostensibly, with a huge position where he stands to gain a ton of money if he can drive up hyper on a particular security and get people to buy it. That's my guess.
Let me see if I can find the first. No.
And my understanding is intentionally. Now, if he did that intentionally, I think that's illegal.
The first tweet he did, I think it was. I mean, dude, all he's done is there hasn't been a single word in any of this shit. I think the first one was someone sitting up in their chair.
Why is that relevant? Do you need a word to do something like that, or
is he banned from posting on Twitter?
Yeah.
Okay, you're not giving a real fucking
No, because
answer.
you're not summarizing my argument correctly.
Okay.
It would be like if the owner of Walmart, like people know there's like an active investigation into Walmart, and then the owner of Walmart shorts his company to some massive amount, and then he tweets out like an anvil falling on fucking Yosemite Sam. And then all of a sudden, everybody's like, oh shit, and they start selling and the stock crashes. And then Dan's here like, are you saying he's never allowed to have a tweet with a fucking cartoon? Are you saying he can't even have tweeting ever again? That's your argument, you fucking retard. If you want to make an argument, make a real argument. Don't summarize my position like you're fucking retarded.
Okay. You have just yelled a lot and said a bunch of bullshit. Okay. And normally you get away with it because you say with it. But the fact is that this is a person, okay? And he...
Yeah, wow. It's a person.
Oh, so you have to interrupt me.
No. I'm going by the facts.
You have to interrupt me because you know I'm about to demolish you.
Go ahead.
Bigger penis than you. Number 2. See that right there? Better looking than you. Number 3. You're not saying the numbers anymore. I can just do this until you get tired of this meme if you want.
No, that's okay.
Smarter than you.
Okay.
More money than you.
Okay.
Probably going to be more successful than you in life. Nicer house. Better pets. More brand recognition. Okay, good. We stopped. All right. This is what he did. He posted a picture of someone. Look at my screen. He posted a picture of someone sitting up.
Base.
How are you going to legislate that away? You're banning someone right now because they're like, Dan is right and you're wrong.
I'm checking my Discord right now. But.
Okay. This is something you can't legislate, and it's wild. I don't know if this is possible to do. Even if the guy did, I'm going to assume that he did take a huge position in GME before he posted a picture of someone sitting up in their chair. But I don't know if that. Can you? By the way, can you pull that up here? I'm going to send you the link of it. See, like and prod, right there. Okay. You see that?
Yep, got it.
All right, put that up. So to be clear with chat, so this is what this guy tweeted. That's it. After not saying anything on Twitter for 2 years.
Wow.
There's no other text. There's no other context. June 18th, 2021 was his last tweet.
Okay.
This alone had GME pretty much spark a meme rally. Mm-hmm. What would you charge him with?
Nothing. Can he not speak?
Oh, so I understand. So now you've known that your position is.
That's what you said. He can't speak.
No, I'm
right?
asking what you would do.
What I would do
is
I would say, this is a person that has a history of being associated with the stock. This guy tweeted something that clearly read to a particular type of market rally. It might be worth an investigation. I don't know if it rises to the level of an indictment or if it's just cause enough for the SEC or some criminal entity to investigate. But if they investigate, if they get a couple subpoenas, if they look at a little bit of things, I don't know what kind of a warrant a judge sends off on. If he's got messages to people saying things like, oh yeah, like I'm going to take a position out here. I bet when I tweet this, like people will go crazy or whatever. Then I'd say, oh, well, it looks like you've like demonstrated like a particular state of mind. You're attempting to do a particular thing with your tweets. You've done that thing and you stand to gain from it. You've done like all the prerequisite actions to have committed a crime of like fomenting the particular stock. That's what I would think.
Let me ask you. So this is a photo of a dude sitting up. If he had just tweeted the words "hi," regardless of his intent, regardless of right now, people follow like Ryan Cohen, the CEO of GameStop, like he's some religious deity.
Okay. Are you saying people can never manipulate markets?
No.
What is your standard of evidence? What would you look for? Does somebody have to tweet out, you guys should buy this stock today? Yeah, go ahead, tell me.
Yeah, go ahead. Interest?
Yeah.
I think this is legal manipulation. I think he is manipulating the market, and I think he's found a way to do it legally. If it's him on the account. I think there's nothing.
Okay,
you
what
can
does
do.
illegal manipulation look like?
Saying something like, "Man, GameStop is going to go to the fucking moon,"
And you don't think that communicates that?
No, it's just a picture.
Okay, so just a picture. So in Dan's world, it has to be a text that you could interpret back when you were in school in 1974. You have to be able to make sense of
we're
that.
the same age.
Yeah, you have to be able to make sense of that. As a man who's almost 50 years old, and if you don't understand it,
You're
you can't
52.
possibly commit a crime with memes. You can't possibly convey something else in an image. So when we talk about like the Egyptians, when we talk about hieroglyphics, that didn't communicate anything. They're just pictures, right? We have no idea
Why
what
do
any
you
of that
keep
could
going
possibly
so
mean.
loud?
Because your engagement with this is so unbelievably retarded. I can't believe it. You're doing it to trigger me, and I am triggered. You triggered me. I am triggered.
Okay,
I'm triggered.
you have basically agree with me
triggered.
on this.
Yeah.
No matter what this guy would tweet right here after 2 years of silence, he could say, "I just shit my pants," and GME would have fucking flown.
It could possibly, yeah.
True. Or, what do you think the odds of that are? Because this isn't very compelling photo to have a stock rally. A dude sitting up in his chair. That's not even that impressive.
Hold on. You don't think that there is like 6 different subreddits that are dedicated to who have been talking about Jimmy for 2 years that are watching every single thing this guy does? And
He
when
hasn't
you tweet the
done
picture, I'm
anything.
like, oh, I'm interested.
Him sitting up, I think he could literally say, "I just shit my pants."
He probably could.
And it would have had the
that
same
might be enough
effect.
to trigger like, oh, well, let's look into this real quick because now there's a huge market rally. And if you don't find anything, this guy's going to have positions.
What would you find? Even if I was him, if I was Roaring Kitty, and I was like, you know what? I haven't done anything on my Twitter account for 2 years. I'm going to go and I'm going to spend $1 million buying GME call options because GME has been in the fucking shitter at $10 for like the last 6 months. Okay? I'm going to do that. And then I'm going to post a picture of a fucking panda bear. And that will be enough for my calls to go up because I haven't done anything. It's the same thing if like...
Okay, here's a question.
That's enough.
Okay.
It doesn't even...
Yeah.
The
Here's a
pictures
question.
are relevant.
If he were to tweet out, I bought a bunch of this stock and I bet it's going to go to the moon again, would that be okay or not okay?
That would be okay.
Okay, so then I don't know why you're focused on the picture. You should
I'm
say,
not focused on the picture.
There's
You
nothing
are.
he can do. No, you are, because you're saying it's just a picture. I'm focused on it. But you're saying there's nothing he could tweet that would make it bad for you. He should be able to tweet whatever he wants. He should be able to tweet, I have a big position in this. Can you guys please buy the stock so it goes really high? He should be able to tweet that.
So first off, what you're saying is not illegal. Saying I have a huge position in GME and I want it to go higher. That's not against the law.
Are you sure?
Yeah. What's against the law is pumping and dumping.
I don't think that's
you
true.
are allowed to.
If I'm part of a company and I have inside information related to my company and I go out and I tweet,
He doesn't. He's
I never
a
said he
nobody.
did. But if I go and I tweet something innocuous that like causes the
He
market
doesn't,
to
by
move,
the way, just to be clear.
That's not what I'm talking about.
But
It
it has no bearing.
Okay.
You're saying if you're an insider, he's not an insider.
I'm just trying to demonstrate that I think you can break the law by saying something kind of innocuous, depending on what like the intent is or the information you have or whatever relating to your thing. So if he had chat logs with somebody else saying like, oh yeah, I've got a huge position, I'm going to tweet this shit, I bet everybody's going to fucking squeeze the fuck out of this, I'm going to make a lot of money, and then you tweet it, I think that would qualify as being manipulation. I think that would be illegal. I think for the SEC, I think they could come after you for that. That would be my guess. That's what I think. But maybe they can't, and if they can't, if that's not illegal, then as hell, then fuck it, he can tweet whatever the fuck he wants. But assuming he's doing it with the intent to drive the price up, and he knows he will, and we all know he will, okay, then I think it's probably not allowed. That's my understanding.
So in your world, then, essentially the only way he could tweet in the future is if he didn't have a position in GME.
Okay.
Right?
I don't know. I'm not sure.
If he believed...
You're the only way he could ever tweet in the future.
Why do you do this voice? Why do you effeminate
voice? If he had an ordinary Twitter account where he was tweeting constantly or he had normal social media or whatever, then it would be a different conversation. But this is an account that he only uses for meme shit. It's heavily associated with meme shit. And but then you're like, oh, so you're saying that in real life he can't tell his mother that he loves him anymore because you're going to say that that's a criminal act?
That's exactly what I said.
That is basically what you're saying.
I mean,
he can't say anything?
It is what I'm saying. I'm basically saying he can't say anything because he could have tweeted anything and that stock would have flown.
Sure. I'm not saying that he should tweet anything that's illegal. I'm saying he could tweet stuff that would trigger somebody to look into it. And if they look into it and they find something or nothing...
I think it would be more honest if he tweeted, I just bought 1 million shares of GME calls and it's going to the moon. That would be more honest than this, to be honest.
Okay.
You disagree with that?
It would be more honest?
And I think probably in your world, more legal too.
I don't know. I don't know if you're allowed to do that. I'm not sure. I don't know what the rules are.
You're not allowed to say, I just bought 1 million shares of Intel and I think it's going to go higher?
For him in his position, I don't know.
What
I don't know
is
what
his
the
position.
Were there SEC investigations and everything that happened to Jamie and AMC and all the meme stocks or whatever?
I think there was some.
Okay, I don't know what they decided in terms of how you're allowed to drive interest around a particular security. I don't know what the final decisions were on that. I don't know how Kramer is allowed to do what he does and he doesn't get in trouble. I don't know. I don't understand.
The whole meme stop thing is so fucking wild. I feel like regulation has to come to it because it's insane.
Sure, that's the issue. I think if you're doing this is a super layman's recollection because I didn't dig into any of the case at all, but I think that the idea was that like if a bunch of people on a forum are doing this, it's probably okay, even if maybe it shouldn't be. But if like admins or moderators are facilitating certain types of talks, then it might not be okay because they stand against government. I think that was one of the arguments, but I don't remember what actually ended up like legally coming out from all that.
Yeah. The meme stock shit is interesting because it's so divorced from reality. Today, one of your DGG chatters was like, "Hey Dan, do a crazy play," and I was like, "Okay, what is it? I'll throw $1,000 at some bullshit." And there was a company called it's FIFE or something, Future Motion. Like they make, or what the fuck is the name of this goddamn FIFE? That's how literal.
Real quick, somebody said it's a victimless crime. It's not a victimless crime. Retards like you are being parted with their money because you're hopping onto this trend way too fucking late. If you read about it on Reddit, you're already too late and you're already more likely losing your money than not. So it's not victimless. You are being separated with your money right now as you champion it on fucking the subreddit, hoping that you're going to be part of the next big blow up. And you won't be because you're retarded.
Well, I was. So Faraday Future, which makes like, apparently they're like going bankrupt. They're getting like delisted from NASDAQ or something in the next day or two. Mm-hmm. But one of your chatters was like, "Hey Dan, this is super short squeezed and you should go and fucking buy this fucking shit stock." So I did, and I doubled my money today doing it on meme stocks. And it's so fucking crazy to me. It reminds me honestly of crypto. Just completely the Wild West, divorced from reality. You have a company that their stock was 5 cents a week ago. Now their stock went from $2 to $4 today off of nothing. It's just, I don't know how the SEC can regulate shit like this, but I think there must be a way because they already have things they do like stock halts and things along those lines. Maybe the way that they do it with meme stocks.
The SEC does stock halts?
I think it's I don't think the SEC does stock halts. I think it's the exchanges that do them themselves.
Are you talking about what happened with the meme shit?
No, just in general. Like if a stock spikes too high or drops too low, the exchange will halt it for like 15 minutes. Any stock.
Okay. I think that can happen, but sometimes trading stops for a variety of reasons. I think that to prevent flash crashes and stuff, I think there are some mechanisms that will trigger. But that didn't happen for the GME stuff.
It did.
No.
There were definite halts on that.
There were halts, but that was because the collateral required to trade those securities became so high that Robinhood couldn't meet that. I'm just saying there are different reasons why.
I feel like there is tools, is what I'm saying, to deal with meme stocks, and it's going to have to be something based on. I don't know. Do you think the SEC could say something that a stock cannot trade over a certain price? Would that be crazy to do? Because you have people. Here's the problem. I think there's going to be people out there that are going to be listening to this conversation and saying, "Dan hates GME" or "Dan loves GME," or because they're not going to know. My real concern is with people that lose money, that don't know any better, that are not experienced investors, that are coming in because their friend says, "Hey, I just made $1,000 on XYZ stock. You need to buy in now," and it's a meme. It's not based on any fundamentals of the company. I mean, listen. I'm not going to say anything about GME as a company because it's a fucking shit company. It's a fucking game store when Steam exists. I don't even know the last time anyone ever has gone to the store. But that said, that's fine. They're diversifying to other shit. Whatever. Should there be legislation to protect people from basically throwing their money into meme stocks, or is it just if you're 18?
I don't know. There should be legislation. I think there should be more friction for trading, like the feeless trading and stuff. And I don't think it's necessarily good.
I think that there probably shouldn't be any legislation. I think if you're old enough to die,
I don't think you need. I know what you're saying. Technically, I don't think it's legislation because I think FINRA and like other companies regulate it themselves because they don't want like.
I mean, but they do some, right? There's like, for instance, if you're poor, you can't invest in like startups and things like that.
Yeah, but this is like 0.001% of like shit. Like a poor person can go and buy a share of GameStop.
The rule exists. The law is out there. Like if you're a poor person, if you work at McDonald's and your friend has a hot tech startup and he does a Series A round, and he's your best friend, you can't participate. You cannot buy into that. Even if he's like, hey man, listen, you know this
I
is
understand
going
what you're
on.
saying. I'm just saying that that's not what we're talking about.
I know that's not what we're
Yeah.
talking about, but I'm saying that the law is already, it's obvious that these types of things can be legislated. You can say you're too poor.
The question is what you have to agree on. The problem is, one, nobody even knows anything about markets or finance or anything. So it's already a retarded fucking conversation because everybody here is fucking retarded. But the issue is that when people are trading on a particular security, you want the trades to be reflective of like the market environment or the fundamentals of the actual security that you're trading, ideally, or other people like maybe investor sentiment or things that could be incorporated into a security's price. The problem is that with things like GME and AMC and all this shit, what's happening is the markets might be movable based on a collection of people that get together to buy and sell that particular security that is entirely divorced from any of the fundamentals. That should probably be a bad thing. Everybody should think that's a bad thing, but most fucking retards won't say it's a bad thing because they think it's a way to get back at the man or something. But you don't really want somebody, like we wouldn't let an individual doing it would be illegal. The only complicated thing is it's a form of people doing it now.
Yeah.
Hey, speaking of which, did you know that there's like almost another hour of this podcast that you're not going to see on this YouTube video? If you want to get the full thing, you have to be a Patreon subscriber, which you can do at patreon.com/anything else. You also have very cool things that you get in there, like being able to be on the live show viewer call-ins, suggesting the topics, and like behind the scenes footage. There's some really good stuff there. So yeah, check it out. Some more Patreon exclusive footage. And here is my neighbor's cat, ready to get into a fight to the death with Lycan's dog. He's a big pussy, though. He's just smelling.
You chill.